What are you talking about?
I'll be nice even though you were nasty to me and made me watch Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Was I nasty to you? I don't know.
You flabbered all over my Sunday.
I did not flabber or white blaster Beetleborg all over anything. Welcome to Rough Cuts.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Hey, they're the dog people, aren't they?
Three typical average kids inside a haunted mansion. Just by chance, Frida Ghost, who made them Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Hey, look now, they're superheroes armed with superpowers. Taken from a comic strip, and now they're Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Rough Cuts. I'm Boix. This is my co-host, Ilion.
I'm so tired.
Today, on Rough Cuts, the podcast, where we watch movies or long-form videos in the shape of a film that are not actually films, but somehow are.
I'm so tired.
Typically bad ones. And then we rate the dogs at the end. That's the gimmick. The bit has been going for so long, we don't even know what it is anymore.
No, I know what the bit is. You don't seem to, but
what?
I do. I know what the... You made this choice. You chose Beetleborgs. Why are we watching Big Bad Beetleborgs? What fucking dog? Oh god, there's a wolf.
There was
man.
very clearly a
there's
dog,
wolf man.
and he
There's
has a
wolf
dog
man.
house.
He does have a dog house, and he's got some sick Converse.
It's true, wearing some cool Converse. Yeah, we watched a Big Bad Beetleborgs movie called Curse of the Shadowborg, which is essentially, I think, you said it was 6 episodes? It felt like 4.
It was a 6-parter episode. I looked it up. It was a 6-parter.
I think the movie has 4 parts, and then they didn't put the last 2 or something, because it only felt like 4 episodes.
I have no fucking idea. They might have... I could see it being a 6-parter if they do the, like, anime kind of thing of last time on Beetleborgs. And, like,
just to really stretch it?
And really stretch it? I wouldn't be surprised if that's it.
We're thinking a normal television episode in America is about 22 minutes. Because 8 minutes of that episode is ad breaks.
Yes.
So 22
it's like
minutes
just over 20
for an hour 30 movie. You know, you get maybe 4, maybe 5 if you really stretch it.
Yeah, it seems weird they'd get that much, but my guess is that they had to do like a last time on Beetleborgs and did like a 5-minute intro at like a bunch of them, which honestly you'd kind of need by the end of it, because otherwise who the fuck is this white blaster Borg Beetleborg.
Okay.
Beetleborg.
We got there.
It's right! Think right!
We got there.
It's not racist.
It's not like the white Power Ranger.
Yeah, you need to
totally different.
Distinct. Okay. They could have just called it the light.
The light. Yeah.
Beetleborg, because it's a Shadowborg and then a Lightborg. That's the whole point.
That's the whole thing. And they call it the Shadowborg, so why not
the light blaster Beetleborg? I don't, because it's about light and shadow. Every opposite has another opposite.
Is that what it's about? Is that
and
what
magic,
it's about? Is that what it's about?
Or something.
I don't think it's about anything.
So this is the full title is Saban's Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a Saban property. And Saban is a producer of the American Power Rangers, which got popular. And
yes.
Power Rangers, as I think most people know, although I think Power Rangers has fallen to the wayside, even the new, like, what is it, Michael Bay, or whatever the new Power Rangers reboots are that are fucking awful.
It couldn't have been Michael Bay. There's only one, wasn't there?
There were like 2 or 3. There's
Wait,
more.
was there more than one?
There's more than one. They've been
quietly churning out shit in the background.
Because they're like the Transformers movies.
Hold up.
Now is what
yeah,
they are.
I could see that, but I can't imagine they were that popular.
I'm almost positive.
Somehow those Transformers movies are real popular.
Those are fucking terrible. I don't...
Oh, I'm not saying they're good.
A while ago on episode 50, we watched the Dog Who Saved series all at the same time because you can watch all of the Transformers movies at the same time, and they have the same beats and the same timings of everything that's happening on screen. And it's the same for the Dog That Saved series, which I thought was very funny. But Power Rangers. I think Power Rangers have fallen to the wayside. I think they're a nostalgia product.
They were canceled sequels.
Oh, okay.
There have been no sequels.
I remember them announcing them. So
and then they did a canceled reboot. So they've been trying to do it and then going, Jesus Christ, nobody wants some fucking Power Rangers. Nobody wants this shit.
It's like Pacific Rim, but they mixed it with Transformers, and they're like, look, it's Power Rangers.
Oof.
It's not good.
And speaking of not good,
it's called
let's talk about Beetleborgs.
Bad Beetleborgs. Like, they got it correct. They got it correct. But, so Saban's thing, though, is they would take footage from Japanese Sentai shows, or sometimes Kamen Rider, or...
For Tokusatsu, yeah.
Tokusatsu, even, like, parody shows.
Yes.
And then they would splice that in with American drama, Beverly Hills 90210 footage. Essentially.
For those that don't know, too, by the way, I guess I should define what tokusatsu is. It just means, like, special effects, right? Essentially, like...
Yeah, like explosions and rubber monsters.
And so... Yeah, and so it's almost literally... my understanding was that it was almost literally translated as special effects show. So it's basically, big Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, like, big rubber monsters, lots of pyrotechnics... goofy, fun stuff like that. Starfish Hitler.
Stuff that's actually
Look
good.
Up Starfish Hitler.
Stuff that's actually good instead of the stuff American that rules. Portions.
Yes.
So Power Rangers was a whole thing where they were just rushing out episodes, trying to just go through the footage. If you look at the actual footage in Power Rangers, it's way better on the Sentai show because it actually makes sense. They'll have like a puppet monster that can break into pieces, and it's really cool, like visual effect of like the head floating around and stuff. And they're at a theme park. And
they have like pyrotechnics and like real camera work and lots of cool stuff.
But the monster will be at a theme park, and there's like very clearly like a Ferris wheel and stuff going on. And then you go to the American footage, and it's like a bunch of teenagers just like in the park, but not a theme park, just like a park.
Yeah, just in the grass outside.
And it'll suddenly cut to them in this theme park fighting this monster. You're like, hey, wait a minute. Where'd they get there? How'd they go that far? What happened? This is Japan now. We're in Japan.
It's pretty obvious. Wait, is that Mount Fuji in the background? Like, what the fuck is happening?
And because of the way it's edited, it doesn't make sense why they're there. It doesn't make sense the order the scenes are in for the combat, because they were just fucking slapdash grabbing every piece of content they could. And sometimes one 30-minute episode of Power Rangers would have like a third of the footage from an episode of the series.
Yes.
And then they would stretch it to 3 episodes to fit as much as they could, just to use as much of that footage. Yeah. It's if you look at it from a capitalist American footage, it is so cheap to produce this shit.
So cheap. Yeah, it is unbelievable garbage printed out as fast as possible.
So that series though was about teenagers.
Yes.
That very quickly became adults in the shooting of the show, so they had to switch casts multiple times to keep going.
to keep having them be in school and relevant. Yeah.
So Saban was like, hey, we need to get this because kids love this shit. There's so many explosions and monsters and they're so into this. We need to get the same thing but with kids as the main characters for them to relate to.
Yeah, like the Tokusatsu shows, like they're goofy and funny, but they have fun with it, right? Like they're actually interesting and there's cool stuff going on. So on that half of things, everybody's always like, wow, that's really cool. And then you get all this stupid, garbage, boring relationship shit that nobody cares about, but they just have to staple it together with something because they don't have anything and they don't want to spend any money on it.
It's really dark sometimes. They're like, oh, we're gonna get these kids, we're gonna take them into our lair, and then we're gonna fucking kill them. And we're gonna crash this car that they're trying to escape in, over a bridge and explode them. Like, things like that. You're like, holy shit. And then you go to the American one, and it's like, oh my god, did you see what was for lunch today?
Oh man, Kelly is sitting with Jerry? I can't believe she'd do that.
But they,
like, it's
that thing. But they want to do the same thing with children. So what they did was, instead of having teenagers, the main characters, they shot multiple shows with kid actors. One was VR Troopers, that I mentioned while we were watching. VR Troopers is another 8-year-old in a cut of Japanese footage of virtual reality, fighters. And in this one, Big Bad Beetleborgs did the same thing with 8-year-olds becoming the Beetleborgs.
Yeah.
But they had to also cut that with Universal Monsters for some reason.
I love Beetleborgs.
This is a extremely slapdash show. Like, it's wild how many disparate elements they just go, we got this footage. Okay, wait, we've got a closet full of costumes. We need something for, like, villains and other characters. Well, there's all these, like, discarded costumes in this closet. Let's just grab what we can there. Oh, there's, like, a mummy and a Frank. Okay, Universal Monsters, that's our bit. Like, that's just all that it is.
Is that anything?
It feels like it has to be that, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh god, they just take everything that they have that's just as cheap as possible and recycle it and then just spit it out. And this absolute sludge.
Because it was the 90s, and this show is very 90s.
Oh, yeah.
But because of the 90s, they're like, oh, what's popular? X-Men? Comic books? Marvel? Let's do that, too.
Yeah, they all came from comic books.
That's the plot of Big Bad Beetleborgs, is so the Power Rangers that they become...
Please explain the plot of Big Bad Beetleborgs in 2 minutes or less.
Well, they did explain it in 2 minutes or less in a music video at the beginning of the tape.
Music video at the start. It tries, anyways. It tries.
That song is not good, by the way. The Big Bad Beetleborgs song is so annoying.
It's so stuck in my head, too. All I hear constantly is Big Bad Beetleborgs.
It is catchy, but it's not good.
It's not catchy. I mean, like, yes, it's an earworm. God, it's... Ugh, yeah.
It's everything. The kids are big comic book nerds, is the big thing.
Yes.
And they love specifically Beetleborgs, the comic. And at some point, they investigated a haunted mansion which had the Universal Monsters for some reason.
Yeah, that happens to be in their city. And you're like, wait, what does this have to do with anything?
And then the Universal Monsters attacked them and were going to kill the kids in blood, like just gore everywhere. But what happened was they read their Beetleborg comics and they released the Borg.
I am Locutus of
White Blaster Beetleborg!
Resistance is futile.
Well, they hit the pipe organ, apparently.
The pipe organ.
I read this up.
And Flabber, a ghost of the mansion, comes to life and then gives them the power of the Beetleborgs from the comics.
Yes, because he is a wish-granting
He's
ghost?
an omnipotent being / the Mask.
He's an omnipotent Robin Williams, is what he is.
He's just a Robin Williams impersonator, is what he is, yeah.
It's really bad Robin Williams bits. It's really bad Robin Williams bits. By way of Jay Leno, because he has like a super Jay Leno face.
Yeah, it's by way of Jay Leno and a little bit of...
like you said, The Mask.
The Mask, yeah. It's just all that shit in one. And then he uses the power to turn them into the Beetleborgs so they don't get eaten by the Universal Monster movie characters, which become good guy, bad guys that are constantly terrorizing and threatening to eat people. I guess. I don't know what they were doing with that. I have
no idea what the point of them are. Like, there's no reason for the Universal Monsters to exist in this at all.
But when he released the Beetleborgs, he accidentally also released the supervillain from the comic.
Yeah.
And that is Vexor. And Vexor
what's his power?
Rita Repulsa / Lord Zed / every villain whose power is to have 3 goons that run around and go, "Hey, I'm the evil guy. Hey, how's it going?"
And they all have like the worst goddamn voices.
You know, we might as well just pack up our things. With Vex's new army, it's It's like we don't even exist.
Ain't it the truth, baby?
Oh yeah, I'm from Russia. Why am I doing like a Midwest?
What the fuck? No, please, keep going.
No.
No. I know. I've heard this. Let me try and place it. I think somewhere in Siberia. Please keep going.
Siberia.
I'm just trying to listen. I'm really good. I've got a good ear for accents, and I just want to place exactly which type of Russian this is.
Oh,
Russia's a big country. There's a lot of accents in it.
oh yeah, I'm from Russia.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah, I know that one. Yeah.
Yeah, from Minnesota, Russia.
Yes. Minnesota. Yeah.
Anyway, fuck. Anyway, there's like a Russian girl. There's a hey, I'm the evil guy. Like a perverted fucking I don't know.
I don't know what so there's one dude who's like a robot with dreads.
There's Robot Dread Guy, who's the only enemy in the entire. It's the only enemy in the entire show that has a moving mouth.
Yes. Yeah.
They
Everyone else is just a solid mask because it's just cheap.
And that guy's just like tech guy. I don't know. He doesn't do anything.
No, they don't have any real like individuality or powers. They're just goons.
But essentially, so Vexor will spawn beetle enemies or enemies based on a specific like item and object, just like every Power Rangers type show. And then they will go fight the Beetleborgs. The Beetleborgs will just shoot them with a fucking gun, and then move on with their life.
Yep. Yeah, that's about right.
That's about it. And then the rest of the show is basically just introducing new things that they can sell as toys.
Yes. Yeah, slowly putting out more and more toys for things. Like,
yeah.
Eventually they have a beetle tank in this one that they don't even introduce. It just shows up for like 20
there was
frames.
a Megazord beetle tank for no reason. They didn't get
and there's no
one.
like transformation sequence or any reason that they got it. It just shows up and it shows up for like 20 frames and then they just get rid of it.
So what's interesting again? So if you watch the original series that Power Rangers is based on, because I have actually seen that,
mm-hmm.
It goes episode to episode and they're slowly introducing powers. They don't just have it all randomly cut together when they want to.
Of course not.
It's like, oh, now they can punch and kick. Now they get their cool guns, but they still can't transform. Now they can transform. Now they get their swords and their axe and their special weapons. Now they get
there's a story.
Now they get their Zords, but they don't turn into a Megazord yet. They're individual and they have to fight one at a time.
Mm-hmm.
They each get an individual Zord per episode. Like it ramps up eventually, like slowly
over a very long time,
over a big season or two. And then you watch Power Rangers, like, oh, here's the Megazord. We got it in episode 3. We gotta fucking push that shit out so people watch the show.
Well, and also so they can just sell as many toys as possible. And this... So we have Universal Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
We have a ghost that gives them infinite power, whatever. And then on this series of episodes...
Loosely thrown together to a film.
Yes, loosely thrown together to make a film. Or the other way around, chopped up weirdly to make a movie. Or to make episodes from a movie. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, it's all chopped up because it's chopped up with Japanese footage.
Yeah, it's Beetleborgs chopped and screwed. I know how that works.
Yeah. The plot of this one is that they start out within 30 seconds after the music video opening of introducing all of these plot elements. Got 20 minutes in, we're just done introducing the start of it. This minion jumps in, goes, "Ha ha ha ha, I'm fighting you now," and grabs a piece of their armor, rips it off and goes, "Bye-bye," and then just teleports away.
Why are you taking my armor piece? I'm not telling you.
And they go, "What the fuck was that about?" And then and we're like, it's been 30 seconds in. What the fuck was that about?
Hold still, Beetle Dweebs. Yes! Thank you.
Hey, what are you doing?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Are you alright, Ju? Yeah. Give that back.
You three are going back to the comic. Ha, you wish. But we are going. We have what we came for.
Yeah.
It shows Vexor in his cave and he goes, "Aha, now that I have a piece of Beetleborg armor, I can make my own Beetleborg." And then he creates the Shadow Borg.
The Shadow Borg, who's an evil Borg that will kill the Beetleborgs.
Yes, it's an anti-Beetleborg made specifically to destroy them. And so then, of course, it immediately fights them and steals their armor and their powers.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, I mean, except not their powers, because they all have,
it only
superhero
steals
powers
their transformation. They can still do their individual superpowers. So the small 8-year-old girl is very strong and constantly uses her powers of strength to bully and threaten
and
people.
Intimidate. Yes.
She's like a bouncer. The bouncer.
The bouncer.
The green Beetleborg has telekinesis powers for some reason.
But like very, very weak telekinesis. Like he can like lift a teapot.
Yeah, and the
girl can lift cars. The one kid can lift teapots, and then the last child, like you were saying,
I think it's the blue Beetleborg is the fast one.
Nope, the blue one's the telekinesis.
It's blue.
He's
okay,
green. Yeah.
Okay, so
is
green's the fast one.
Yeah.
Blue's the telekinesis. Okay.
And fast, by that you mean he can make himself look all blurry.
They can speed up the footage of him
do they
walking
even speed up the
slowly
footage when they
up the
do it?
stairs.
Do they really speed up the footage? Because honestly, that looks like a regular run.
And then they also introduce a new character
Really
who's
pathetic.
the new kid in town, Josh.
Yes.
By him, like, jorking it in their attic and then falling through a hole.
Yeah, he's just in the haunted house.
What? He's just in the house. He's like, oh, hi, I'm the new kid. I just moved in, and I'm here to be a new Beetleborg. I'm gonna go to the comic shop now and hit on your girl.
And steal your girlfriend. Bye!
What?
Peace, bitch!
I love Beetleborgs. Yeah.
Yes.
I love Beetleborgs.
So he's all of the things that the blue Beetleborg is also, except that he's better at everything. He's nicer to the girl. Like,
yeah,
the blue Beetleborg, he has this girl that he likes. It's not even
just,
a girlfriend.
She doesn't even like him.
There's almost, what's her name?
Emily Elizabeth something.
Wait, dude, wow, you actually knew more than I'm like,
I think it's an E name.
She has almost zero characterization, and he never talks to her or anything. Like, it's not like they really have any kind of relationship actually built up.
He is very, like, incel coded. I don't know, something like that. It's not good.
And it's just very, well, I own her. You can't be nice to her. Because the thing is that it's not like, oh, well, Josh comes in and he's like, yeah, I'm gonna take this girl and I'm gonna treat her like shit because I can, and like, you know, I don't really care about her, but she's kind of hot, so I'm just gonna take her. Like, it's none of that type of stuff where it's like, oh, he's obviously got ulterior motives or some kind of bad guy, or he's gonna treat her wrong.
No,
like the Beetleborgs attack, or the minions attack the comic shop, and everybody's running out, and the blue Beetleborg just like runs past the girl that he likes and doesn't look out for her at all, doesn't give a shit. And then Josh goes, holy shit, are you okay? And like shields her from everybody and then like runs her outside, and he has no powers. He's just doing this as a child. He like shoves her out of the way of this falling sign and saves her life and does all these things. And then the blue Beetleborg hears about it and he goes, ugh, I hate that guy. How dare he save her life?
Like, I could have done that if I felt like it. Like,
and it's just him being a nice, cool, good guy who's like, honestly, does he do anything wrong ever?
Well, he was going after his girl that he is not dating and that she doesn't even know he exists.
Yeah, it's the one thing that he does wrong, quote unquote, in the entire show. It's so amazing.
Dumb. So dumb. So, Flabber has fixed the armor so that they can reuse the footage from the Japanese show.
Yes.
That's the only reason that happened. Using snake magic.
Using a snake.
For some
reason. With this snake, he does a rhyme. What is it again? God, it's some stupid fucking rhyme riddle. With this snake, I will make your armor whole. Haha.
Or something big.
Yeah.
What rhymes with snake? Oh, fuck.
Because I hate snakes! But here it goes. Slip and slither, slide and slink. Become this armor's missing link.
Yeah. Neat.
Thanks a lot, Fiber. I knew you could fix it.
Anyway, and yeah, when the Shadowborg attacks them, they're in Texas, Japan.
Yes.
And there was a really funny line in that too, actually, because Shadowborg is like, "Haha, I have all your powers now. You'll never get away with this, Shadowborg. I just did, you fucking idiots."
There's so much in that first fight. There's so much of that where they're constantly like, "You can't beat us." He's like, "I have your powers," and they're like, "Well, you'll never get away with it." I'm leaving, but I did.
Actually,
like, you see you, like, fucking idiot.
So dumb.
That's really good.
And this completes the set.
You won't get away with this.
I just did.
Someone tell me what happened.
This is bad. This is very, very bad.
Our powers are gone.
So then the Beetleborgs get frozen by Shadowborg's cool gun. Mm-hmm. Using his ice ray that looks like the force field in the David Lynch Dune is what I said it looked like.
Yes.
It's a really good effect.
Very scrawled around them lightly. Which, should we talk about the camera work for just a moment?
Yeah, let's talk about the camera. What the fuck were they doing with the camera?
I at first thought that it was just incompetence, but very quickly realized it's a style choice. I just want to say I need to talk to whoever made that style choice just for a moment privately in this dungeon that I have in my house
with a bat.
Like, I need to have a long week-long chat. You ever seen the movie Misery?
Yeah.
But because this was, I don't get motion sickness for anything. I can read in the car. I can do all that kind of stuff. But I had to kind of watch this out of the corner of my eye for a lot of it. Because they take the camera and it's Dutch angle, Dutch angle, Dutch angle, Dutch angle, Dutch angle, cut. But while they're doing the Dutch angles, they have this idea where they have it Dutch angle where it's left is higher up and right is down.
Mm-hmm.
And then as the person's talking, they'll constantly rotate it so that then the right side is up and left side is down. And then they'll cut to the next Dutch angle and just constantly do that. So it's just rotating at all times.
It's on a ship moving on water back and forth and back and forth. Yeah, it looks really bad.
Plus 30 degrees to minus 30 degrees to plus 30 degrees to minus 30 degrees. Plus 30 degrees. It's a huge shift. It's not a slight shift. It's
you can see where they got the idea. They're like, oh, this is too boring having this shot just flat. The kids are going to fall asleep. We need to move it to give action to the scene. But then you look at it in post and you're like, oh, this is just going to make me vomit.
It's sickening. It is so bad. It's maybe the worst camera work that I have ever seen on our show.
And then you contrast that with the Japanese footage that is just well shot, flat, explosions, and it's not moving. You're like, oh god, a break. Finally.
With people flying on wires and all kinds of good visual effects, and you're like, oh Jesus Christ, it's so jarring.
You're constantly like, holy shit, holy fuck.
God damn, they blew that dude up.
Yeah.
There's some real good explosions.
Some good shit. There's also actors, like you said, on wires, floating down with lasers blasting out of their hand. That's the shit that.
That's the good stuff. That's
shit.
The stuff you actually want to see, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so after they get unfrozen, because Shadowborg's like, haha, I have beat you. I'm leaving now.
Peace, bitches. He does that a lot.
Just fucking leaves.
A lot.
So they can't get their powers back, so they talk to Flabber. And Flabber's like, go talk to Art Fortune, the creator of Beetleborgs comics at Fortune Comics. He'll help you. So they go to meet Art Fortune, the creator of Beetleborgs, who's a fucking weirdo. Hate that man.
No, he's the regular comic book artist. We've known Nick Phil.
He's a pervert and a criminal of art.
Yeah, a comic book artist. Yes.
Not a comic book. Anyway. Fuck you. Anyway, so
hi Nick, I love you.
They're like, hey, we need you to come back to our haunted mansion of Universal Monsters and solve our Beetleborg problem. And
he goes, no, I will not go with you, small child. What the fuck is wrong with all you kids?
So then the girl is like, oh, you won't, huh? And she threatens him, beats him to a pulp, and then drags him
Our heroes.
Like some fucking mafia villain.
Mm-hmm.
Back to the Universal Monster. And then they just, like, harass him with the monsters trying to kill him in a Scooby-Doo fashion.
Yeah, they basically use the monsters to threaten him again when he refuses to work with them.
I guess. But then once he's been locked in their attic, he becomes Rohan Koshibe from JoJo, as you were saying. Because he has the power to draw and the art become life through Flabber's magic ghost magic. So he draws the new Beetleborg to solve the problem of them all losing their Beetleborg powers, the White Blaster Beetleborg.
What?
Which Flabber keeps saying, white! And that sounds like a joke. I was saying Farquaad yelling white and pointing at the screen.
Yeah.
Stupid meme. And it's like that, except he's just saying white every time he says it.
You'll be auditioning for the what? Whenever you're ready. I brought my own bonder today. How resourceful! Get to it! Look at me! I'm the white... I'm a rabbit kid! I'll never work in this town again. Next! Now the audition is a cross between the red Beetleborg and the blue. Only it's white! Think white! Whenever you're ready. I see lots of potential! Don't call us. We'll call you. Next! I'm never gonna find another white!
He screams it into a megaphone and then takes the megaphone away when he's not screaming white. Why did they do it? What?
They could have just called them the light Beetleborg, as we were saying, but instead they're like, white! Oh, anyway, they need
Power Rangers is doing everything they can to get away from that, and this one's just jumping in, both feet.
So then Vexor sends his goons to go steal comics from the comic book shop, which is also run by one of the Beetleborgs' parents.
Yes.
And they steal all the comics because he wants to release all the villains from the Beetleborg comics at once to finally kill the Beetleborgs.
Mm-hmm.
And they ask him, like, hey, why are we stealing comics? And he's like, shut the fuck up and get the comics. Which I think is funny.
Shadowborg is magnificent. While he distracts with destruction, I want you three to steal every comic book in Charterville.
Okay, but why?
Because I told you to, nincompoop.
Yeah, okay.
I'll summon every monster from every comic book to destroy Charterville. Now go!
But they need a human being to become the new Beetleborg. They can't just, like, will it into existence. So they need somebody who's very white to become the Beetleborg.
And they have, like, auditions with all of the Universal monsters. They've got to get this to 80 minutes. Listen.
They really do.
It's real hard to make
really
this a six-parter.
So they get Josh, the new kid, who just came into town, to become the White Blaster Beetleborg. And then he has a one-on-one fight with the Shadowborg and gets his ass completely blasted.
He gets totally wrecked. They were like, wait. Art Fortune goes, wait, was that supposed to be the White Blaster? Oh, I put White Blasted.
Oh,
I
fuck,
figured he was just going to get his ass kicked. Oh, fuck.
And then after the Shadowborg beats up the White Blaster Beetleborg, he's like, haha, I'm leaving now.
I win again. Now I leave. My planet needs me.
You lose.
Why, you miserable, rotten, cheating.
Are you talking to me? Thank you for the compliment. I am through for now, but you and your friends have not seen the last of Shadowborg.
Hold on, Josh, we're coming to get you.
And Josh,
Blasting off.
And then Josh is like, wow, I can't believe I got my ass beat. Well, at least I got all these gems from his armor.
At least I won, actually.
What? When? How did this happen?
This show sucks so much, dude. This It sucks so bad.
Like,
I'm so tired.
So they were cutting in the footage of the fight on this like orchard farm that is apparently also the Universal Monster Mansion. Because in Japan.
Yes, this haunted Japanese mansion.
And you know this is just because they had footage of them fighting one-on-one. They're like, oh fuck, we need to have a scene where he's on his own. How are we gonna do this? Shit.
We need to get at least 5 minutes of actual, like, good Japanese footage into this 85-minute runtime film or whatever.
But they didn't know how to get him from, like, getting his ass kicked to progressing the story. So they're just like, oh, he took the gems. Whew, close one.
Whew, good job.
So then Vexor's like, wow, I can't believe my Shadowborg is so strong, but I'm gonna make him even more powerful. So he can defeat those Beetleborgs for good, because he hasn't been able to do it yet. So he improved...
Because he hasn't done it 5 times now. So we gotta do it a 6th time.
So as he, like, is improving the Shadowborg, the goons are like, well, I don't like that he spends all that time with that Shadowborg. We're getting real jealous of this Shadowborg, motherfucker.
Alright, we better go and find out the identity of the white blaster Beetleborg.
Yeah, well, the only way to get back in his good graces is to find out the secret identity of the white blaster Beetleborg that nobody knows who the kid is.
What if we find out the secret identity of the White Blaster Borg? Who do you think will be the heroes then, huh?
I know this one.
We will. And Vexor will remember we're his #1 crew.
Exactly.
White Beetleborg, here we come!
Right,
So they go to town, they start doing havoc, and the Beetleborgs show up with their new friend Josh, and the enemy villain goons mention Flabber or something.
Yes.
Somebody mentions Flabber. And then Josh is like, oh yeah, I know Flabber, my good friend from the Beetleborg mansion. And
you must be the white
and the villains
Beetle.
are like, wow, you know Flabber? You must be the Beetleborg.
And then my favorite thing of this happens, because they run back. Well, the one guy goes,
he tells them
robot
their
dread
plan.
dude goes, oh, well, you know, you might be the white beetle, but our boss is going to unleash all of these comic book characters on you in a big army. And they go, oh my god, that plan was supposed to be secret. And it's like, wait, was it? Why would it be secret?
When?
Why would it need to be secret? There's nothing secret about... They publicly stole. Mm-hmm. They went in and, like, fought the entire town to steal the comics.
Yep, they sure did.
There's nothing secret about this plan.
They beat up a karate grandma.
Yo, god, I forgot about the karate grandma.
Who did
that was actually pretty good.
She did a cool stunt.
The wife of the comic book owner, she goes like, and then they shoot her, and she does like a backflip, like handspring into boxes.
She had a fucking stunt double.
And she's like 70. It's pretty good.
So good.
But, so then he goes back, and then even better than that, they go like, haha, Vexor, we have something really good to tell you. And he goes, oh yeah, what's that? And they're like, well, we know the identity of the white... He's like, well, is it that my plan is perfect because they don't know that I'm going to unleash all of these...
And they're like, villains,
oh yeah, it's something like that. What we know is we know the identity of the white beetle. Why would I give a fuck?
I don't give a shit about that.
No reason. Don't worry about it. Never mind. That whole, like, 10-minute sequence of this movie, they just fucking throw it out the goddamn window immediately.
So dumb.
That part's been stretched by.
The real beauty of my plan is that no one, not even the Beetleborgs, knows we are coming.
Boss, it's, funny you should mention that.
Yeah.
Oh? Why?
I was just gonna tell you that,
He was just gonna tell you,
that we discovered the secret identity of the White Blaster Borg.
Yeah, and, we just thought you'd like to...
No, right?
Right.
Who cares? After my surprise attack, there won't be a white blaster Borg. Come with me, Shadowborg. We must prepare the Monster Brigade.
Besides,
Beetleborgs, we all know that the White Blasterborg is no match for me.
So then he's like, I don't fucking care. I have my Shadowborg. What the fuck are you talking about?
I have my Shadowborg and my secret plan that I didn't make public by doing it in public.
It's so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. So anyways, it goes back to the Beetleborgs, and the kids are talking about comics. And the Greenborg is like, hey, remember in issue 66 when the Beetleborgs got a cool gun and then just shot them in the face?
Of course I remember episode 6.
Issue 66.
Issue 66. I've got all the scans. What do you take me for?
These are the dorkiest fucking dweeb kids.
Losers.
So then they go to Art, who's living in their attic now, I guess, because they've abducted him.
Yes. And he is now wearing a big art apron that he wrote QWOP on.
Yeah, so he has a vest that he's been painting.
He's got the idea for Bennet Foddy's new game.
Bennet Foddy's QWOP. But yeah, so on this sounds like a joke, and it is a joke.
This sounds like a joke.
But also on his vest, he's written the words QWOP Dick. in camera frame in the center of the frame.
The center of the frame. You had to pause it and be like, wait, am I missing this? Like, is there something here?
Did somebody draw a penis or something? What is that? Why does it say QWOP Dick?
Hey, look, the costumers have to have some fun somewhere. They gotta do anything.
But so he draws a cool gun. A new big gun called the Thunder Stinger, which you can buy now at your local Toys R Us or KB Toys.
Finally, I will give all the Beetleborgs the power to beat the Shadow Beetle. It'll be gun. Just shoot him.
And at the same time, Vexor's like, finally, I've made my Shadowborg unable to be blasted by a gun. I did it. So then the Beetleborgs go out to fight the 20 villains from the comics that have been teleported to a field in Japan.
To a field in Japan to terrorize this American town. They've been teleported to this Japanese field.
And then the villains are like, haha, you'll never get us now, Beetleborgs. There's too many of us.
Oh yeah? Well, have you met Gun?
They just start fucking blasting them all.
So just shoot them all.
So when the comic book villains die, they get Ghostbuster back into the comic book trap. So they go back into the comics, which implies that Vexor can just resummon them from the comic later?
You'd think.
Like, he has every comic in town. Every Beetleborgs issue, including issue 66, where when the Beetleborgs took a shit, like, what are you talking about? But yeah, so they start blasting all the Beetleborg villains. Like, one by one, in groups of 3, really. They're just fucking blasting them. And then...
Oh yeah, it's almost a rocket launcher,
The gun gets bigger. It turns into the Megazord super gun at some point. For some reason. Because they just had footage. And then it gets to the Shadowborg, and they start shooting at the Shadowborg, right?
And he goes, haha, I am unfortunately immune to blasting. So then the white blaster beetle shows up and goes, are you immune to my blasting? And starts fighting him, and he goes... Yes. And just continues to kick their asses.
So as he kicks their asses, right? Like, he's just doing that. And then Vexor shows up, no, you need to stop kicking their ass. You're so weak on power now.
No, you're actually losing. You need to lose now. I just want to let you know. I know that you're winning and they can't beat you. But also, that's not true and you're actually losing. Come home.
No, Vexor, I'm going to win. No, you aren't.
No, you aren't. I have to tell you, you can't.
I'm going to leave now for no reason.
Again. For the fucking 5th time. 6th time, 7th time, I don't even know.
And the Beetleborgs...
Every fight is this.
God fucking damn it. The Beetleborgs are holding their gun. They're like, yeah, and we'll get you next time with our gun that totally works.
That doesn't work at all.
You can buy
See
now
you later.
at Toys R Us or EB Games. Wherever.
Oh, fuck me.
Circuit City? I don't know. Anyway, so then it goes to the next episode of the movie, which is the flea incident.
Oh, God.
We haven't been mentioning the Universal Monsters much because they don't do anything.
They stretch time.
Yeah, they do. They stretch time.
They stretch a lot of time. And they suck ass.
So Wolfman has fleas and is given fleas to everybody in the mansion. What does this have to do with the Shadowborg incident? Good question, Mega Man.
That's a good question.
That's the plot. That's where we're at now.
And then the Beetleborgs are like, oh yeah, God, we totally lost that fight that we won. Hey, remember in issue 74 when they got the energy axis that turned people into very strong versions of Beetleborgs? Hey, Art.
What if we did that?
Art, can you just draw us an energy axis? Oh, I could, but there's a slight problem. There's a small chance that if you ingest the power of the energy axis, it will turn you from good to super fucking evil.
And Blue Beetle goes, I'm fucking evil. I'll do it. Please give it to me. Me. I'm already an incel. I'm already 90% of the way. It's like, God damn it, fucking ass.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
The axis could be dangerous.
Can you be a little more specific?
The recipient of its energy might be turned from good to evil.
That's a chance I'm willing to take.
Hey, but we have to find it first.
This never comes up or does anything, by the way.
He's so fucking excited to be evil.
One, they don't make an energy axis. Two, nobody turns evil.
No.
Three, it's not relevant to the plot at all of the episode.
No. And then, like, every once in a while they're having this conversation, they're just going, fleas, and scratching themselves.
And they give Wolfman a bath.
Vampire and... the vampire and the mummy show up and spray them with toxic chemicals.
They sure do.
In the face. The vampire and the mummy are wearing gas masks, and they're spraying these children without gas masks with noxious green gas. And then as the kids are choking and screaming on the floor, Flabber goes, what the hell are you doing? And they're like, well, it's better than itching. And then that's the end of that plot.
That's the end of that plot.
That's not a joke. None of this is a joke. There's 10 minutes of just like them chasing Wolfman around to shove him in a bath. And then they spray the kids, and the kids scream on the floor, and then they go, well, it's better than itching, and then that's done. That's...
So then the Beetleborgs go to school the next day, I guess. And then Flabber shows up, and he's like, hey, kids, I want to let you know that Vexer's at the mansion right now waiting for you.
Oh, God, yes, this is really good.
So then it cuts to Vexer fighting Flabber one-on-one, and Flabber loses. And then the kids show up, they're like, we're gonna Beetleborg all over you, Vexer. No.
Whoa, wait.
Hold on.
We gotta have official rules.
Alright, Beetleborgs, I've shown up to your home, and I'm ready to do this. I challenge you to a fight after school at 3 p.m. outside. No funny stuff, one-on-one.
That's, again, not a joke.
Don't tell your parents. Don't tell your parents.
Please go outside at 3 p.m. Right after recess, you're gonna have a fight. It's real good. That's actually a good joke. That is actually a pretty good bit.
Professor!
I told you. Let's board.
Not so fast, my little beetle brats. I challenge you to one final battle tomorrow, after school, 3 o'clock.
What do you mean, one final battle?
If you win, I'll take my Magnivores and return to the comic books forever. But if you lose, I will make Charterville the gateway to all that is evil. Do not be late.
And the funny thing is that he didn't mention how far outside of the school, because it turns out that it's about 10,000 miles, because it's Japan.
It's Japan again.
It's Japan again.
And we also find out at this point that if they defeat the Shadowborg, the white...
Think white!
Blaster Beetleborg will disappear, because you can't have shadow without light, or light without shadow. And if the Shadowborg goes, then the Lightborg goes, and you'll lose all of your powers, because really we ran out of footage of the white Beetleborg.
We really don't have enough of him.
We can't put you in another episode because it's gone. So if the Blue Beetleborg defeats Vexor and the Shadowborg, you will not be in the show anymore.
I love that, like, the Blue Beetleborg has been a gigantic fucking prick this whole time. Begs to be evil. The only reason he doesn't like the Josh character is because the Josh character is nice to the girl that he likes.
Yep. Oh, and he can
so
write
she likes him.
You can write in a very good impact font on her cast.
Yes. She has a cast and he writes in a perfect impact font on it. It's super good. And like, that's it. That's his whole thing. And then it's like, okay, well, what's your reward for that? Well, I'm just gonna holy shit, I can defeat the bad guy and get rid of this good character for no reason? Perfect. So they go and beat the ever-loving shit out of this Shadowborg and defeat the villain who's a really good kid.
I mean, the Blue Beetleborg wants to be evil. Maybe this is his turn? Nothing? But so as they're fighting the Shadowborg, the Blue Borg's like, oh yeah, I suck at this. I'm never gonna beat him. Oh no, he's shooting me with this cool ice ray that's super powered. Let's cut to this footage from a different episode. Where I'm going to transform into the Mega Beetleborg.
Yes. And get wings and a backpack and like
jets
turbo jetpacks on my legs.
It looks fucking sick.
It looks really good. Yeah, the Japanese footage is fucking fantastic. Like, the costumes for that are really good.
And then he just fucking blasts the guy, and the Shadowborg is just exploded.
Yeah, suddenly it works. Suddenly Gun is good now, and he blows him up. There's huge pyrotechnics for all this. When we say blow him up, we mean, like,
oh yeah,
blow him up.
Like,
we mean,
there's
like,
also
gigantic
fireworks going off, and a big explosion of... Oh, man, it looks so good. Compared to the rest of the show.
I actually want to see it's like Bee Fighter.
I want to see the original show. That's why I said, like, I went and watched the original Power Rangers. I'm like, whoa, this is so fucking good. And dark.
Yeah, they're actually pretty solid, yeah.
Anyway, so they blow up the Shadowborg, and then Vexor shows up in the sky like Mufasa. And it's like, Simba!
You do not understand my power!
I know I said I would go away to the comic forever if you killed my Shadowborg, but I fucking lied!
I'm actually a piece of shit!
Let's go to Japan and fight some more.
And this is where they have him come down on wires.
God, it
like
looks
shooting
so cool.
Huge pyrotechnic lasers at them and everything. It's really good. It's great. Like, honestly, this stuff all looks fantastic. It's the one shining light in this.
And then, so the White Blaster Beetleborg is returned to just being Josh and is now hiding off screen. So while the three regular Beetleborgs beat the fucking ever-loving shit out of Vexor.
Yes. And when he's like, oh no, I can't believe I'm getting my ass kicked. And then he explodes in a giant crater.
He sure does.
Like, again, a huge goddamn explosion. Like, this is like Mythbusters, you know, just jerking it, super excited. Like, holy shit, pyrotechnics the fuck out of this.
And after
they all blow up.
They blow up, and then after he's gone, they're like, wow, we finally killed Vexor for good. We're all covered in gore and guts. And I think there's a finger.
Wiping intestines off their shoulders.
And then Vexor just shows up in the sky again. You thought I was dead, but I'm not, or whatever. See you next time. Fuckers.
Haha, you thought that there was a point to this movie, but actually nothing's resolved or changed at all.
Because it cuts back to the mansion. And Josh, the White Blaster Beetleborg, is like, wow, I can't believe I don't have powers anymore and have to leave the show. But you know what? What I did actually mattered.
I'll be at my studio drawing the new comics. Boy, do I have some big plans for my next issue. Introducing Mega Blue Beetleborg. Yeah! And the Thunder Stinger. Yeah!
And the White Blaster Beetleborg?
Oh, you better believe it.
So I made a difference.
Of course you did.
Right?
I guess nothing changed.
Right? What I did mattered. It had a purpose. Huh? Right?
Right? Please?
Flabber's like,
I was nice to that girl. Shouldn't I be her boyfriend? She likes me.
Flabber's like, oh no. This didn't matter. No. And then Art also just leaves. He didn't become Zordon. He didn't become fucking Alpha 5 or whatever that just helps them out for the rest of the series. He's just like, I'm leaving now. And I've drawn.
I gotta go write more comics.
I've drawn stupid caricatures of all your Universal monsters. Goodbye forever.
Yeah, he gives all the Universal monsters a caricature as a present.
So, yeah, it ends up exactly where it started, and nothing mattered, and nothing happened.
It's the worst possible ending. It's so bad. Because you could easily have seen... Because I looked at this, and it's apparently... it seems like it's the end of the first season, is how they... What this is?
That would make sense.
This is basically the movie to end the first season.
That would make sense.
How easy would it have been to actually have the axis of evil thing actually matter? And at the end, it's like, oh wow, actually the Blue Beetleborgs kind of acting weird. Is he maybe
Is he going to
evil?
be evil now?
Is he going to be evil now? Like, lead it in. Do anything. No, not even a slightest hint. Like, it would have been pretty bad if they did that. If they just had that as the one change. But it would have been something. It would have been anything. They don't even bother.
They're also inconsistent with stuff, even effects-wise, like transformations.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they do a transformation where it's the cool Sentai Japanese show transformation. Sometimes they do Animorphs. Sometimes they just do like we're changed now. And then it just hard cuts to the new footage and the old footage. It's very, very slapdash thrown together. And also,
this makes Power Rangers look like it has actual budget.
Yes, and Power Rangers did not. They did not. They did not even pay their actors very well.
No,
like barely anything. From what I remember, it was like a couple hundred an episode, I think, per actor. It was like nothing.
Yeah, no,
nothing.
They got really mistreated.
It was bad. So there's that, and then you also compare it to Power Rangers. So I watched the Power Rangers movie when it came out. It was either that or Star Wars Episode 2, and I think I made the right choice at the theater.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that movie opens up, the Power Rangers movie opens up with a higher ground, and snowboarding, and rollerblading, and just like the most 90s shit you've ever seen.
See you next fall. Bye-bye. Gotta love it.
But through that film, the Power Rangers lose their powers, and then they have to gain the Ninja Zord powers, in addition to a new character and new actors. So it actually leads into a new season of the show. So as a kid, you could go watch that, and then get hyped to see your new robots in the new episodes that are coming out on TV. In Beetleborgs, it's like, oh, well, we don't know what episode these are gonna, like, what order these are gonna air on the channel. So
yeah, it feels like that.
So we need to leave it so when the kids end the episode, they can go back and watch any random show of Beetleborgs and just pick right up.
It's super weird that this is supposedly, like, I need to check this. I actually just need to check. Because, like, I need to know if this was the end of the first season, because it really feels like it doesn't make any sense that this is there, because it feels like it should be a like an OVA.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where because it's not actually canon, it can't actually affect any of the bigger story.
I mean, so it could.
And I guess that I was wrong. Actually, it is in the middle of the season. The first season is 53 episodes.
Yeah, they crank these out.
Jesus.
This was 96 to 98 too, so they got like 3 seasons worth, I guess.
Two
seasons worth, but 3 years.
2 seasons.
God.
A season of 53 episodes and a season of 35 episodes.
They must have just ran out of footage at that point. Like, there's no other way.
Mm-hmm.
I've only seen the one episode before now, and I wish I hadn't, because I wouldn't have known about Big Bad Beetleborgs, so we couldn't have watched this.
I also wish you hadn't. I wish you hadn't done a lot of things today.
Also, good news. This is one of 2 Big Bad Beetleborg movies. There's another one that got us straight to VHS. I don't think we're gonna watch it.
I don't think my stomach or head could handle it.
But good news.
Like, one last time, I do want to reiterate that I wasn't bored of this and therefore didn't watch it. I had to literally just sit here and look at it side eye so I didn't vomit because it's so bad to look at with the tilting. It is unreal. You can't possibly imagine how bad it is until you look it up.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable as a choice.
Anyway, let's rate the dog.
Yes.
Dogs. Are there more?
No, there's one.
There's one dog, but also all the monsters bark at some point.
They do. Flabber plays a prank where they all bark?
I don't know what... Was that a fetish thing? Maybe.
Oh. Well, he shrinks himself too.
I'm a shrinking man.
And just suddenly shrinks himself to do funny things.
So
I've
funny.
seen the Swedish porn actress shrunk down.
Oh,
for
we've
kids
all
movies.
seen that. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, there's Wolfie, the Wolf Man.
Yes.
He's a dog that plays poker.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, they do have him play poker, and he wins too.
He wins. He takes flea baths because he gets fleas.
He takes flea baths. Yeah.
And
he's good and clean.
He's good and clean. He loves murder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He's constantly pulling out a knife and fork to eat those children.
Wants to eat them. Also, there's a scene where Josh is like, that's not a real monster, and then grabs his ear, but he has to do it very, very gingerly so he doesn't ruin the costume. But you can,
it's actually, but that's just the costume. I can just tell, and it just barely touches it.
But even when he barely touches it, you can see the bottom of the mask flip open.
Oh yeah, yep.
That's pretty
really
funny.
Really fucking funny.
God, it's
That's
bad.
Very good.
That's like if there's probably a boom mic somewhere in this, if we could actually look at the screen and find it.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no, he's like gently scritching the Wolfman behind the ears.
I mean,
you
got a pet.
You got a good pet? Yeah, you got pets.
I don't know how to rate this. Motion sickness out of 10?
He was a skater dog. He said, "See you later, dog."
Yeah.
He's got Converse on. For some reason, at one point, they have him like flip over something, and you can see that he's wearing black Converse shoes with like on the toe where there'd normally be the white toe on like a Converse skater shoe. He's got he's got like a glued on wolf paw, but they didn't bother to do the rest of it. So there's just still like the obvious Converse logo on the inside. It fucking rules. So he's a skater dog. I love him.
Yeah.
Best dog.
Skater dog out of 10 then, I guess.
Yeah. He's a skater dog.
Okay, well that's Big Bad Beetleborgs, Curse of the Shadowborg.
I can't believe that you
From
did
Saban.
this morning. I was real upset when you pulled this out.
I was half expecting, at the very least, a Saban show would have cool pyrotechnics and robots, and it technically had that, but not in an interesting or good way.
I mean, the times that it was on was good and interesting, but when I say that there was maybe 5 minutes in this, like,
90 minute,
it was at 90 minutes?
90, yeah.
Like, I think I might be exaggerating.
There's very little.
Very, very, very little footage from the actual Japanese show, which are, apparently there's, the first season is Joku Bee Fighter, which is short for Beetle Fighter, and then the second season is Bee Fighter Kabuto, is what they take it from.
Yeah.
So yeah, they must have run out, like, because if they're using 2 different shows across 2 seasons, you've got to think they ran out of footage.
And they had so many of those series that they could just boot another series and say, like, all right, we're done with that one, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Power Rangers where they just kept making more Power Rangers for different series every time. It wasn't that popular, so...
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's it. This is for this episode. You can support us on Patreon. We like money, give money. I love yummy money. This show is
Boyk's showing his blue Beetleborg here. So, you are wearing a blue shirt.
Look, sometimes you need an energy access to get through the day. I get it.
It's just a little evil. I just want to be just a little bit. Yeah, you can support us on Patreon. You can follow us on Blue Sky. God, that is not an evil laugh. That's the laugh of an evil Beetleborg. And I don't know. You can follow us on Blue Sky, where we're Rough Cuts. You can email us at roughcutscast@gmail.com. And
I don't know.
We're gonna take a couple of weeks off now. I'm gonna be out for a little while.
True.
So that's important to note. I will be back in April, so we should have episodes coming out early April again. We're gonna be off for like 2 weeks. Two weeks?
Yeah.
2 weeks.
And-
we can do another one on April 12th as a recording.
And we
we'll have
could
it out
keep
on,
going
like,
with
the
this episode.
16th.
But I'm leaving now.
Well, I've already defeated you, so I must leave.
No, I'm... Yeah, you can't do that. You can't just do that.
I just did.
Are you listening to me? What are you? Oh, you are children.
Oh, yeah, never mind. That makes sense.
Yeah, no, I guess you are. I guess, yeah.
Well, anyway, I'm going to leave. All right, bye.
Bye.
Big bad Beetleborgs. Big bad Beetleborgs. Beetles everywhere. Catch those villains if you dare. They might be big and mean, but you're the biggest, baddest team.
I love Beetleborgs. I love Beetleborgs. Love Beetleborgs.